used are saying the same. All these different words being used are saying the same thing, that if you summarize together, they all admit that we have bad government in Nigeria. Because the motive for committing a crime is not relevant to apprehension of the crime. It's only relevant for prosecuting the offender. So if somebody is coming to snatch babies from the cradle, housewives from their homes, nursing mothers from their nursery, either because political opponents send them, whether they are doing it for money, or they sponsor from abroad, or they just hate APC, your job is to apprehend them. And we have sufficient powers and sufficient laws in the land for President Tinubu to command his armed forces, the police, and other security forces, and to ensure that if you have any nefarious intention, just keep it to yourself, because when you want to carry out your action, you will be caught, you'll be dealt with. Right now, I cannot send 50 naira from my account to my wife to buy a recharge card. 5,000 naira, security will know. Because I have BVN, I have NIN, I have all of these things. I cannot make a telephone call discussing anything that you will not find from the service provider. If you are online and you are critical of the government, or you criticize any big man, police will grab you immediately for cyber stalking, cyber crime, whatever. Why is it that kidnappers are communicating freely? They are communicating with the victims, they are coordinating, and all of that is going on in a country where you cannot acquire a telephone line without this telephone company knowing your date of birth, your telephone number, your BVN, all your next of kin, everything is known. So the government needs to come out and confess the truth, that they are enabling this insecurity. And they cannot pretend that they don't have all the tools of what it takes. If you have a land dispute with somebody, police will be using your telephone line to track you down so that they can come and arrest you for trespass on behalf of the landowner or your opponent. If you have a problem with your neighbor, police will track you. They do it all the time.
But I mean,
why is it difficult to track kidnappers?
Is it that simple, Prince Adebayo? When you say that this government, perhaps, I mean, from your own perspective, you think that they have failed Nigerians, but is it that simple? You make it so simplistic, and if it's that simple, and you're saying that the government is corporate, you're thinking that a government will be in place and intentionally want to look away from protecting his own people. That will be evil and devilish for anyone saddled with the responsibility of safeguarding and securing people, and then deliberately looking away. That is how you're painting this government. Is that fair?
The first enemy of government is government.
Sometimes some of these journalists, that's why a lot of people continue to say they are even the problem. I don't understand Shehu sometimes. You are asking questions as if you don't live in this country, you don't live in Nigeria, as if you don't know. You'll be asking questions as you see at this time you are still saying it is fair on the government, this and that. What is fair and what is not fair? What is not fair on this government? What has they done? Yeah. So if you are thinking this is opposition is using this to against Tinubu in 2027, Tinubu did the same thing. Now, then stand up, tell them, if you can stop this problem, they won't use it against you. They are using it against you, then you solve the problem. Do you understand? So don't leave complaining, telling people is opposition. Which opposition? This has nothing to do with opposition. Tinubu policies trigger a lot of things. Do you know what Tinubu policy is all about? These are the issues. I'm saying sometimes, I know, yeah, that's why they say journalists are being compromised, this and that. Some of them not, or anyway, they show sometimes they misbehave. And I know they try, but what can we say? You are doing what they ask you to do. If you do anyhow, you see anyhow from there. It doesn't take anything from the owner to say, hey, my friend, this is what is on. So all those things, we know. But what do you think? Yes, this is not a joke again. It's getting serious day by day. By now, we're supposed to have, saying that we're seeing the changes. We're seeing some changes that the government is working. The problem, they are solving the problem one after the other. But hey, it is not like that. The more we shout, the more the problem continues. So how do we get out of this? Government cannot tell us they don't know what is happening. So they know what is happening. Tinubu completely lost control of his government. And it calls for questioning. And people are worried. Do you know? You see, a lot of issues. Especially this period of when this issue of Christian genocide has really exposed a lot of things. And that got a lot of people talking. That was what I said from day one, that this issue will expose a lot of things. If it is only the secret, then we now know the problem, people behind this problem that do not want this country to get better, to move forward. Now we are identifying them one by one. Through the course of these conversations, we now know who is for Nigeria, who is against Nigeria, who is actually the people who are financing, who are supporting this terrorist organization. It is not news again that some persons has been accused and they are in government. If you do not deal with these people now, it's only a matter of time. Even the Tinubu himself will not be safe. Now the bandit is already threatening that they have succeeded in kidnapping schoolgirls, churches. They kidnap people in churches. Now they said they want to go after politicians, go after soldiers, and the next one is Tinubu himself. That's what one of the bandits said on a live video. A country where the terrorists are not doing all sort of things, TikTok live, going on TikTok live, we don't know them. This man has explained. I want you to take your time listening to this video. The man says something that, in fact, you don't want to miss it. This is Prince Adewale, SDP presidential candidate or former presidential candidate 2023 presidential election. If you have been following this man, listening to whenever he speaks like this, everything he said from day one, when the matter was in the Supreme Court, Court of Appeal, Supreme Court, he said Tinubu can only run away with this mandate. He cannot do anything with the mandate. This is what is happening before us today. If you have been following me, I have been shouting that it's not going to get better. So it is happening before us today. Take your time, listen to this video. Then you'll be asking yourself questions. If you understand. Oh, anyways, let's watch the video. We'll come back and talk about it. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'll be your guy. Run for me now.
The first enemy of the people is government. You cannot commit a crime and last 1 week, 1 month, if you don't have government people cooperating with you. I cannot go now to the bank manager in my bank and say to them that I want to withdraw 6 million naira. They will not answer me. They will say SCUMO, EFCC, money laundering, whatever. But people are paying millions of naira in ransom. The people who collect the ransom are not worried where they carry the money to. If you want to try it out, just keep collecting your salary and taking to cash. When it's up to 10 million, I have to take to the bank. The bank will tell you all kinds of story. What I'm letting you know is that President Tinubu, in my own humble view, has lost control of his government. And is flailing around. He needs to put his acts together, organize his government, make sure that he understands that police covers this country effectively. Because every local government in Nigeria has a police division. There's a DPO. Even in some large or massively populated local government, you have more than one division of police there. And are you telling me that in Eruku, in Isakwa, and all those places, there is no division there? Are you saying that if there's a youth core member in Eruku criticizing the APC or criticizing the government, they will not go and arrest the person? This is a government that could capture somebody in Nairobi, Kenya, and bring here for trial and sentence the person. But they cannot capture people who are going around. How do you go and carry hundreds of people? Have you been a nursery school teacher before? To get 35 children to cooperate with you inside the class, is it easy? How are you going to carry 35 people and carry them somewhere?
They were taken on motorbikes and they were driving out. We understand
that convoy will be larger than the convoy of Wiki in Abuja. The convoy of motorcycle that will carry the gunman, the rider, the victim. The victim is not like somebody who is going for a wedding. He's not happy. He's crying. He's distraught. He's everything. That kind of operation is loud. It's noisy. And you cannot carry a tuba of yam past a police checkpoint in this country. They will ask for the receipt of the tuba of yam. You have to bring the NIN.
Where are you putting the complicity? Because you're describing it as though these people should not be difficult to track.
Of course.
Why has it been difficult?
Because, one, they are in the business of it. If you look at what the Deputy Speaker is insinuating, he is saying that he thinks one of the problems is that the people in government who are negotiating this ransom are probably the people collecting the ransom. Or at least a substantial cut in the ransom. That's why he wants to pass a law. Say you can't do it. Of course, the problem he's going to have is that the law won't change it. What will change it is a determination. You cannot be commissioner of police in a state and people get kidnapped in that state and you will not ask the DPO of that division what is happening. Do you know how many cases police take to court over land matter, two fighting and all of that? Try to drive around town and leave your driver license at home. They will catch you. They will waste your time. Your wife is taking babies to the hospital. They will ask for the DNA of that baby. So what I'm letting you know is that the president should stop communicating failure. He should get a grip of his armed forces. Remember, one armed robber, Lawrence Adeni, one armed robber, was disturbing people in the old Bende state. And Etimiyan was IG of police. He was coming to the Armed Forces Ruling Council meeting. President Mangida asked him, where is Anini? Before you come here and start sitting with us, my friend, where is Anini? And within a short period, you capture Anini. So what I'm letting you know is that the president needs to call the armed forces to deal with the terrorists and all of that. But for kidnappers and all these opportunistic criminals who are taking easy targets, he needs to call the IGP Egbetokun and tell him, my friend, where are these kidnappers?
What do you make of where we are right now? Because over the past couple of weeks, you've asked the president to either take charge of the situation or resign. Well, it's safe to say that he's not going to do the latter. But what do you make of where Nigeria is right now as a country?
Well, it's still rudderless from the point of view of
governance and primary duties of the different tiers of government still lie unattended to. And the dire situation that our people find themselves, or we all find ourselves, remains unchanged. There are indications that the government has lost its map and is just waking up every day reacting to any new incident or the umbrage, whether local or international. There is no rational observer who would say, this is the trajectory of where the Tinubu presidency was headed to. What is happening in November 2025 was what they planned in November 2024 that will be happening in November 2025.
They being who?
President Tinubu has lost the plot. He's lost control of his own government, which he hasn't had time to put together to start with. And he cannot say, however much you speak for the government, you cannot say that where they are now in 2025 was where they plan to be when they were planning a year ago or 2 years ago. They definitely are in the wilderness. And if the captain of the ship cannot find his way to the bridge and he is not able to locate where the ship is situated, he cannot determine the direction the ship is going, he has no control over the speed of the sail, the passengers on that ship are entitled to a new captain, or they give up on that ship, and you cannot give up on Nigeria. So it is easier to say that we have a bad government in a good country than to say we have a bad country, because I know that this country, if well managed, is second to none.
Prince, how do you react to people who say people in your category, members of the opposition, are exploiting this particular misfortune that Nigeria is going through under the stewardship of the Tinubu administration to make a political point? Do you consider your commentary helpful regarding what is playing out?
Well, if the president wants to be helped, from what we say, he can pick up enough help. But if you say we are making capital of the misfortune, then they are producing too many misfortunes. Because if you think that the opposition is taking advantage of your misfortune, then you should reduce the amount of misfortune you have. You can't fail in every aspect, both critical, primary, basic, even tertiary. You fail in security, you fail in economy, you fail in culture, you fail in sports. Even sports, it's not something basic. So you fail in everything, and you don't expect that people are going to remark on those failures. Are you saying that a community with people run that skater, where even people in your administration don't feel safe, where even the community you come from doesn't feel safe, and the vast resources of Nigeria are located in the northern part of Nigeria. The entire north is closer to Somalia than it is close to what Nigeria used to be. So you cannot Afghanize your own country and expect people to sing your praises. You cannot take every index that you met and make it worse. Unemployment is worse. Inflation is worse. Security is worse. International profile of the country is worse. You either don't have the competence to appoint ambassadors, or you can't find competent ambassadors to appoint. Either side of the coin is a failure. So you can't police the state. You can't secure the state. You fail. You don't even have enough mental capacity to explain your failure.
So is it my understanding that you believe the Americans are right for speaking about Nigeria the way they speak about it in the Congress? President Trump's comments about Nigeria being a disgraced country, I mean, he re-echoed it again just yesterday. You think that's a fair characterization of
I don't agree with President Trump of the United States that we're a disgraced country, but he's speaking the language of international diplomacy. When you see the president of a country, you say, oh, Nigeria is here. So what he meant is that the Tinubu administration is a disgraced government.
Is it?
Yes, that's
is that not an oversimplification?
No, because Nigeria is not a disgrace. Nigeria is not a failure. But it's like when 11 people are on the field playing for Nigeria, And if they concede 2 goals, they will say Nigeria 2-0 against Nigeria. It doesn't mean that all of us are on the field playing, but they are representing Nigeria. President Tinubu on the international stage represents Nigeria, and his scorecard is disgraceful. So those who are outside, they don't see you, they don't see me, they see the government of the day. And the government of the day, if you look at it, it's a failure in every aspect that is important. Right. So the counterpart overseas is entitled to say that this country has failed because the government that they see the secret of the government, they see what the government ought to see that it cannot see, they see the gap, the yawning gap on the international space that the leadership of the country ought to fill, and when they don't see them, they say they're a failure. But it doesn't mean that we, so all of us, are a failure because it's not evaluating all of us, it's evaluating the government of the day.
Right. So this past week, the federal government, through the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, hinted at how the interest from America, for instance, has played a role in the heightened insecurity that we've seen over the last couple of days. The attacks in Kebbi, the attacks in Kwara, the attacks in Niger, the several attacks that we've seen, the resurgence of Boko Haram attacks in the northeast, for instance. Do you understand how that statement could be a reflection of the truth? Because it's been a while before.
It is like
we've seen attacks happen so rapidly.
It is like a goalkeeper saying that the attacker or striker from the other side is shooting the ball too fast. That's an admission of failure. Your job is to catch the ball. So whether the attack is coming from within or from without, your responsibility is to stop the attacks. And every tool in the world that you need to stop the attacks is given to you. And on every occasion, at every opportunity, at every juncture, you fail to use these tools for what they are meant to be used constitutionally. Nigeria has enough money, enough manpower, enough institutional experience in the military, enough association and friendships all over the world, enough technological and scientific and other skills within Nigeria to defend this beautiful country.
You don't believe there's any explanation that makes sense as to why Nigeria is struggling with the scale of insecurity that we're dealing with right now?
The explanation that makes sense is that we have a failed government. Simple.
That's it.
That's it. There's no other way. Because the kind of challenge or challenges that we are facing is 1/10 of the one Ukraine, 1% of the one Ukraine is facing, or other countries facing. Even America itself is constantly
Is it to say that Ukraine has the kind of support that Nigeria doesn't? I mean, it has the support of Europe, it has the support of the United States.
Where Ukraine is today, and where it will be tomorrow, and where it was yesterday, all of it is a reflection of the kind of leadership it has at every point in time. If you had a leadership that is more serious than the one you have now, even the war will not happen. And if you have one that is not as strong as you have now, they will have fallen long ago. Well, let us understand something clearly. The job of the government of a country is to secure that country. And you need resources to do so. And when those resources are available to you, you have no excuse to give. Why stay on the job? Some of the reasons they are giving, the job is tough, it's unpredictable, those are reasons you give when you're resigning. Those are not reasons you give when you're on the job. So if you bring a security guard to your house and he says, oh, the gate is too heavy, the intruders are too many, he will tell you that on his way out. Why I can't do the job? You cannot say that you do not know or you did not know in 2023 when you were saying it's your turn, that you did not know that it was your turn to fight Boko Haram. It was your turn to fix the economy. It's your turn to grow the potentials of the country. It's your turn to represent the country internationally. It's your turn to make Nigerians happy. If it's just your turn to occupy the seat and nothing more, then you have taken that turn, you need to go away. Because the discussions we are having are not surrounding things that are optional. We're not discussing subsidy, price increase. We are discussing life or death. We are discussing the continuity of the country or a fracture. You think this is an existential threat in your view? Of course it is. Two problems we have. Problem number one, non-state actors have infiltrated the government. The government is absent-minded, absent from duty. Now, it's also deceiving itself, politicking away to elongate its tenure, even though it cannot do the basic function. Now, so those are problems. And the citizens have been coping. They should have been on the street long ago, but I do not recommend that. I recommend that you should be patient. But our people have been overly patient. Now, the disturbance in the country is now causing international concern to the point where world powers are debating whether to take over the whole thing as if we're not a going concern. And the manner of their intervention, the angulation of the argumentation, is suggesting that they have a particular section of their population that they feel sympathetic towards. And that is going to create internal alienation in the country.
So any international intervention, in your view, could be counterproductive?
Any international intervention will be counterproductive if the government of the day remains as sluggish as it is today.
Right.
Because international intervention is required. Don't be deceived.
Okay. The latest
you have to be in charge of it.
Yeah. The latest development we have on this is that, as you know, a Nigerian delegation has been in the United States over the past week. The National Security Advisor has been meeting with government officials in the US. He has met with the Secretary of the Department of War, Pete Hegseth. And according to the presidency, in a statement that was pushed out earlier in the day, they say that the United States government has affirmed its readiness to deepen security cooperation with Nigeria to help strengthen security partnership between the two countries and open new avenues for cooperation to protect citizens. So it seems like we have a silver lining here. Instead of America taking on this role of big brother, it is willing to work with Nigeria and share intelligence, which may likely bring an end to the insecurity that we're dealing with. Isn't this a happy ending in your view?
There's no ending yet. There is nothing to be happy about yet. There are three problems in these first statements. One, what they say the United States government is willing to do, ready to do, is what they've always been ready to do, and they have been doing. Many of the platforms our forces are using come from the United States or from the allies of the United States who would ordinarily not give these platforms to us except the United States agrees. The Super Tucano that was sold to President Buhari during Trump's first term is a mark of U.S. willingness to cooperate, unlike in the Obama days, where Obama was, to my view, unfairly and unreasonably non-cooperative with the government of President Goodluck Jonathan, because they were political about it. They would become partisan in Nigerian politics. Now, so the U.S. under Trump has always been willing to help, but it's like trying to carry a child that refuses to raise up his hands, or you are dragging them and kicking and screaming. The government, until this fire hose is turned against them, did not take this matter seriously. It was business as usual. And they had gotten comfortable with the business of the commercial aspect of insecurity, the making of money and turning things over, and trading in insecurity and taking as a status quo. So some of the fire brigade approach that they're using now has always been available to them. Even if you would not choose ambassadors all over the world, you will choose ambassadors to the United States, to the United Kingdom, to Russia, to China, to France, to every member of the Security Council of the United Nations. Common sense. If you can't do that, there's no reason why you should be calling yourself President of Nigeria. So you may choose not to send an ambassador to Estonia or some other country, but you cannot fail to send ambassadors to Germany, to other places where you have your core business people. India, for example, you cannot fail to do that. You have to send a high commissioner to India. So you didn't do that. Now you are sending a national security advisor to go and have discussions with people who, as a member of opposition, as a known politician in Nigeria, when I go to Washington, these same people have discussions with me. I cannot last 2, 3, or 4 days in Washington or London or anywhere. Once they know I'm around, there will be the ambassador or somebody who will say, oh, you are a leader of a party in Nigeria, we want to talk about your country.
Yeah, and Prince,
so what is special about that?
With your connections, are people like you, would you say people like you in the opposition are helping in trying to de-escalate the situation? Or are you milking it? Because there are high-profile members of the opposition who only voice their thoughts in condemnation or in criticism of the Tinubu administration. But during this past couple of weeks, with all the tension, the heightened tension between Nigeria and the United States, would you say that people like you in the opposition have used your contacts, your connections in the international scene to de-escalate the situation? Or have you just been bystanders laughing at the misery of the Tinubu administration?
So not be bystanders, because it's our country. It's not Tinubu's country. Tinubu is a mistake. The country is a reality. Number one, I've been to the House of Lords. I've been to London and talked to people there. You can't say, nobody can say, do they have a Nigerian intelligence agency to give them reports? Nobody can say I spoke against the country. I've been speaking to the Americans for a long time. I've never spoken against the country. So we speak for the country. But we cannot deny the fact that what is obvious to the people you are talking to, if you don't want to lose credibility, is that they know you don't have a proper government at home. A government that behaves like a government. So they will ask you, what can you do to make things better? Because they too, in some areas, want a better partner to deal with at home. I was in London 2 weeks ago. I was admitted to the House of Lords. I sat with them in their proceedings. We talked about Nigeria. After that, we had dinners, lunches, where they were raising people to talk about Nigeria. What do you think about this? You must have seen my intervention, my opinion in the independent of the UK. You've seen some of my intervention in the media, international media. I've always been supportive of my country. I've always said, do not invade Nigeria, do not throw bombs into Nigeria. Try as much as possible to cooperate with the government that is in Nigeria. They have shortcomings. They're not a serious set of people. But remember that there's a long-standing relationship between Nigeria and your country, and you should expand your interaction with members of the civil society, with the opposition, and all of that, and to see that overall, we're not treated like a banana republic, even though we have an amateur government in power now, but we are a regional power in our own right. And I reminded them of the role we played in Sierra Leone, in Liberia, in Sudan, in Lebanon, in Congo, in many places. So we deserve respect, and they understand that. But they have Tinubu's administration, unless you abandon your work and start impersonating a membership of their government, which I'm not, you cannot lay their bed for them. They will scatter it by themselves. They're not orderly. So, for example, they have a diplomatic problem. They are making it look like public communication problem. So they are sending argumentative, loquacious, bloviating loquacious people to go on foreign media and annoy everybody. Instead of going to Washington, go to London, go to Paris, go to Moscow, go to Delhi, go to Beijing, and start to talk softly to people, try to use relationships of people. Forget about opposition, you can say maybe we're going to sabotage you along the way. You have people who are neutral in the country. You have experts, you have retired ambassadors, you have a whole institute of international affairs that has spoken to people there.
But it does seem like the temperature is coming down a bit, doesn't it?
The temperature the temperature cannot come down. The rhetoric, just one tweet from Trump is going to send a high blood. But you saw the session in the committee session in the U.S. Congress.
Yes.
There
apparently are a lot of lawmakers on both the Democratic and Republican side who don't think that a military intervention is what Nigeria needs at the moment.
They are speaking in the interest of America. They don't want their troops to die. They don't want their money to be wasted. What is going on in our National Assembly is what we should pay attention to, which is nothing is going on other than theater. What is going on in the U.S. Congress is for the benefit of America. The intervention of Trump is partly humanitarian and partly domestic politics because of the American Christian right. And there's nobody who has any knowledge of the sentiments in the United States who will not tell you that they've given us enough warning on this subject. I have attended congressional meetings, Congress-related meetings, pressure group meetings in Washington, hosted to discuss with me the plight of Christians in Nigeria. There have been sessions I've attended over the years. When I get there, they will always ask me, why are they killing Christians in the country? I give explanation. I explain to them that there is no intention of the Muslim community in Nigeria to kill Christians, but it's true, Christians are being killed. A lot of their churches are being burned down, displaced, but you also see that a lot of non-Christians are being killed. But they are focused on Christians because that is the intervention that they want to make. And when President Buhari went to see President Trump during President Trump's first term, he had not allowed President Buhari to sit in the White House for 10 seconds before he says, why are you killing Christians in your country? And subsequently, I get inquiries about it. Every media, I was with BBC as a guest. They forgot about what they called me for. They were asking me about the killing of Christians. They were showing me maps. So there is data showing that Christians are being killed.
But do you think there's correlation between the narrative or rhetoric on the international scene and what is playing out domestically? Because we see a lot of embellishment with the data, for instance. And
you cannot use embellishment when you're talking about human life. If 50 people were killed and somebody goes to write 500 people were killed, it makes no difference. The fact that 5 people were killed...
but the scale and intensity says
a country that wants to succeed does not argue that kind of argument. This is Tinubu's stick kind of argument. Makes no sense. To say
the numbers don't matter.
If your house is caught fire and somebody goes to report your house got burned down, you cannot argue only half of my house is burned down. That's not seek help. Your house shouldn't be burned down in the first place.
Right.
The way Nigerians are being killed like chicken. If there is another country where birds are dying like that or dogs are dying like that, the international community was, why are dogs dying like this in this country? So, not talk of human life. It is not a responsible argument from a government communication point of view to argue with people who are reporting real tragedies in your country. If people were killed in Cameroon and they reported that people were killed in Nigeria, you can argue. I say, no, those people were killed in Cameroon, not in Nigeria. But if people are killed in Nigeria, ignore the exaggeration. Deal with the killing. Because when the killing goes away,
right,
the exaggeration will go away.
Okay.
So that is why nobody has ever exaggerated that Nigeria
is frozen up with snow, because snow doesn't fall here. So anything that happens in any country will be exaggerated. In America, there's police killing of black people. And when you talk to Americans about it, they don't see it as often as when we see it from outside. So anything that happens in your country that becomes a pattern is liable to occasionally or periodically suffer exaggeration.
Right.
But the root cause is what we need to deal with, which the government is failing to deal with, and it's getting worse by the day.
All right. Talk to me about the response of the administration, because we've seen deployments. The Chief of Army Staff had been in Kebbi when the 25 or so schoolgirls were abducted. We've seen the deployment of the Minister of State for Defense. We've seen the President's position on withdrawal of police officers, personnel attached to VIPs, which I would love for you to comment on. But generally speaking, regarding the government's response, we've seen the return of the Eruku Church goers kidnapping. All 38, we understand, have been safely rescued and returned. 50 of the 300 plus students in the Niger abduction have reportedly been returned, or at least have escaped their captivity and returned. What do you make of the response, especially on the military and police front so far? And the president's call for the withdrawal of what many believe would be hundreds of thousands of police personnel, guarding people like you, for instance, sometimes.
I don't have police guarding me. However, what I can let you know is, number one, nothing's wrong with the armed forces. They have the wrong commander-in-chief, full stop.
The wrong commander-in-chief?
Yes, the President Tinubu.
He was the elected commander-in-chief?
Yeah, you can elect the wrong person. You can buy the wrong shoe that doesn't fit your feet. So, the issue is, you can use some money to buy the wrong food and have food poisoning. The problem facing Nigeria today is that the commander-in-chief is not a good commander-in-chief. He can make a good commander-in-chief out of himself, if he wants to, but he's neglecting that mission. Now, I'm happy that he also knows that he doesn't have to go all over the world on fashion parade, that he can actually sit at home, go to the situation room, and interact with his...
Isn't that what he has been doing? I mean, he didn't go to South Africa, he shelved some of his international engagement to stay back home.
We are talking of episodic, reactive actions. You're not talking of systematic work of a commander-in-chief. I saw a picture of the president talking with the chief of army. As commander-in-chief, that's not how I'm going to do it. So he needs to take a cue from, talk to previous commanders-in-chief. Bangida, quite articulate, talk to him. Talk to Obasanjo, no matter your political disagreement with him, regarding how to be a better commander-in-chief. Because I did all of those things, preparing myself to be a commander-in-chief. He's not commanding the armed forces properly. He's not interacting with them.
What is he not doing? I mean, it's safe to say you and I are not in the room, but we've heard from...
What he is not doing is that he's not part of what the work they are doing. He's insular. He's different from them. It's not what I know.
He's not a soldier. I don't know.
No, please. Yeah. The office is that of a soldier. The day you are elected as commander-in-chief, as president, and you take that oath, you are a soldier. For the period of your service as commander-in-chief, you are the number one warrior. Commander-in-chief is a military post. So in other countries, like in England, they have a commander-in-chief who is a full military. So commander-in-chief under our constitution is given to the president because we want...
I mean, in principle, not in practice.
No.
Right?
Every commander-in-chief before him did better than him. So the worst commander-in-chief until he came was President Buhari. So, and then President Tinubu even made everything worse. So you cannot say you don't understand. He's the one who appoints the service chiefs. And the service chiefs now deploy all the senior commanders. So he's running the armed forces.
Right.
So if he doesn't know how to recruit people, how to organize the cadre, how to assess leadership, if you don't have attention, and you don't pay attention to this kind of work, which is number one work for you, if he doesn't know the country sector by sector, if he's not engaging the troops, if he's not interacting with them, if they have problems that he doesn't know, if he's not using his international clout to get them platforms to work with them and to actually do the real work. And if you notice in the last 3 weeks, he's been behaving like he now knows that there's a job called commander-in-chief, and he's making belated and quite substandard attempt to do the work, but he's facing the work. If he is serious like that for 2 more months, 3 more months, maybe he will blend with the service chiefs.
Right.
Maybe he would understand the operational order. Nothing done in the armed forces that's not done with the authority of the commander-in-chief. So he needs to do that. Right. The amount of time he spent taking photos with the campaign governors and all of that, if he went to visit the troops, the wounded soldiers, goes to the military hospitals where they're located, talk to them. I talk to, and I don't want to embarrass them or implicate them, but I talk to the members of the armed forces all the time. Wherever I see them, what is going on, what is happening, and I see that they are dedicated. If you talk to, I was speaking about Ikewachukwu just 4 days ago. And I was concerned as to, I wanted to know from him whether he thought that the military officers we have now are inferior to the one of his time, or are they as good? He confirmed that they are good. So the armed forces hasn't broken down.
The president is the leadership.
The leadership.
The problem is the leadership.
It's the leadership. And that leadership is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces.
All right.
He is the one that is the problem with the Armed Forces.
Your quick response to the order for the withdrawal of police personnel from VIPs.
Who defines VIP? Everybody
there are a lot of private citizens
who defines VIP.
Police officers.
It is part. Look, when I was growing up, if you are standing and the policeman is behind you, it means you're a criminal. You're under arrest. But it's become part of the fashion accessory that they do now. It is up to him how he wants to handle his armed forces and the police and the services. They are there. They are dedicated. We interact with them.
Comment his move?
I don't comment any move because I have not seen the proper operational order about how he's going to handle the police. You are saying you have to take care of the police. If you cannot do it, remember how MD Yusuf took care of his police. Remember the relationship between Sunday Adewusi and the Nigerian police and the government of the day. You have to weave properly your police. You have to take care of them. You don't be ordering them up and down. You have to see that they don't stay on the street to collect 20 naira from motorists. That you paid their welfare, you monitor them, you discipline them when you need to, you show them that they matter, and you don't just drive past them when you are going. You give them proper honor. All these window dressing kind of order that we haven't even seen the detail of the order, it's just an announcement. And if you see the person who announced it, it doesn't show to you that it's a serious matter, because the spokesperson for the president, he is talking about police deployment. That is an indication that this government has got everything upside down.
So you don't think this is going to happen? You think this is not going to change anything?
It is not relevant. It's a distraction. Number one, there is the Minister of Police Affairs, there's Police Service Commission, there's the Inspector General of Police. Anything pertaining to police deployment, they will make their... Do you think you are a policeman? You are standing with somebody, and Mr. Bayo Nanuga, another statesman in his own right, but now writing anything he likes to write, is going to issue a press release and you immediately abandon your post? No, police doesn't work that way. Police works by deployment, operational order. They will see the signal. So you are in the media and you are not a lazy journalist. Have you seen a signal?
I mean, I don't have internal memos, but we know that
when police,
the announcement is a part of the directive.
When police issue their signal, you must have a correspondent here that is looking after the police. I have a media house and they have a
the presidency is grandstanding.
The presidency is lost.
Okay.
President Tinubu has to find his own presidency back. He needs to go alone in the room.
Okay.
Stay alone and ask himself, when I said it is my turn, Himilokon, what did I mean? Did I get myself into trouble? Because if it's my turn to disgrace myself, my turn to sleep on the duty, my turn to parry the blame, my turn to disappoint the people, what does my turn mean? If it's your turn to make the country great, then you start to rearrange yourself and start asking yourself, who are the people who can help me execute my mission? And what are the guarantees that are contained in the Constitution? When I went to Eagle Square on that windy day and I took that oath of office, what did I sign up for? And am I living up to that? Ignore my voice. Don't, I'm my opposition. I want you out. I want to come in there. So that I'm not pretending. But I am not the one who needed to tell you that our schools need to be safe. I'm not the one who needed to tell you that you need to command your armed forces and boost their morale. And I'm not the one who will tell you that when you are choosing the leadership of your armed forces, try not to lose hundreds of generals in one memo and wipe out several generations. Try as much as possible to watch out the value you gain when you are spending so much billions in the name of security and defense. Try to know what is happening in the districts, communities where your people are. Try to relate with governors as members of the Council of State, not as potential defectors to your party.
Right.
And try to work with them to see that from the level of divisional police officers, if you go to police divisions, of which there is almost one for every local government, go to the one in your local government and check whether there is any investment in the police divisions.
Right.
That shows to you that there's a commander-in-chief that wants the police to be more effective.
Okay, that's quite the tall order, but for want of time, Prince, we're going to have to leave the conversation here for now. Thank you so much for
Thank you, and God bless Nigeria. We should not lose hope. A bad government can be voted out, but a good country, Nigeria is. God bless Nigeria.
Amen.
Wow. You listen to that. You see, one thing that government should first of all agree that they have failed. They should stop blaming PDP, stop blaming, even Buhari said, yeah, Buhari caused problem, disaster. So Tinubu should not be worse than Buhari. Now is worse than Buhari. They should not remind us of the past. See, now we now understand that Tinubu has lost control of his government. He's not in charge. God bless Barrister Darlington. He said the one during the time of this election, when the matter was sailing, because you know it took a while before they finally settled everything. They said Tinubu is the president. He said Tinubu is going to Aso Rock. It's like a written document given to Tinubu. I'm explaining this. He said it's like a piece of a document written given to Tinubu to sign. As you are coming to this Aso Rock, do's and don'ts. He said you will sign. You are going to do this. You are going to do this. You are going to do XYZ. You are not going to do this. You are not going to do this. You are not going to do this. So Tinubu is just like a tenant in Aso Rock. He's not in charge. He's not the caretaker. That's how he said it then. But it's what is happening today. Now, truly, everything that is the problem of today, Tinubu has not able to solve one problem. Since he assumed office going to 3 years, Tinubu has not able to solve one problem successfully. He has not. So that's what he said. I think it was Barrister Darlington. He said it's just Tinubu cannot do anything. They have written agreement. Do this, don't do this. What is happening today? Now, as stubborn as Tinubu, yesterday or 2 days ago, he said cattle rearing, open grazing of cattle, he banned it. He banned. That was all. But because of agitation from the north, they deny that it is a lie. That message does not come from Tinubu. Can you now see that Tinubu is not in charge of his government? If you are not able to do this, because those are part of the thing they ask you not to do, and you wanted to do it, they will come for you. No, that is problem. See, let me tell you something. Tinubu now, because he wants to win the election in 2027, he will not do anything. Now, it is now you even supposed to demonstrate your power. Why they call you a strategic master? It is now you're supposed to have demonstrated your power to know that you are truly in charge of your government. You can do it. You don't care. Let the problem come. You are able to carry the problem. Do you understand? Highest, you do not win election in 2027. That's the only thing. But do the needful. Give command. Give these military people a marching order. Anybody found want all these informations coming to you. This is not new again. These are not new. That this person do this person is in charge. This military that were sent to this to go and guide that school because they have an intel. Yet somebody ordered these people to live there. 30 minutes after these people came, they strike. They kidnap those students. Up to today, those military has not been arrested, has not been called for questioning. They are safe there. Somebody is powerful than Tinubu, than even the CDS, the Chief of Army Staff. Somebody is powerful than them, that they cannot challenge these people. That is the problem. If the military, somebody civilian, somebody who is not a military, is powerful than the military, somebody who is in charge of these armed forces is not able to do anything, that means we are in trouble. Yes, that means we are in trouble. President is not able to give command. The military CDS is not able to give command. We are in trouble. Now you listen to everything this man said, right? You yourself know it is not possible. This video that I'm making now, if they truly want to track me down, they know where I am making this video. Through internet. The network that I'm using, they have my data. Why is it so difficult for Tinubu or for these military, police, security agencies to track somebody? Why is it so difficult? Because they have an agreement with these people. Just the only thing is the agreement they have with these people. You know, APC, they are full of lies. They are 419, they are criminals. The agreement they have with these people is probably they did not fulfill their terms and conditions with these people. They did not fulfill their plans, their promises to them. So these people decided to revenge. This is a payback that, oh, you promised we are going to do XYZ for us. You did not do it. You think we are going to forget. These people are now, it's a revenge. It's a revenge. Do you understand? So if they are not able to do this, how? It's not as if they don't know these people. It is this country just yesterday or less than 48 hours ago, Bayo Onanuga, Tinubu spokesman, said the bandits that kidnapped those worshiper church members in Kwara State, 38 of them, after they were rescued, they said ransom was not paid. They didn't pay any money. Nobody was arrested. No exchange or gunfire. Nothing. But the Bayo said DSS and police, military, they work together, they cooperate together to rescue those guys. That the DSS contacted this bandit, terrorists, you call them, that DSS contacted them. This is not me. Bayo Onanuga said that DSS contacted terrorists to release those girls. Then truly, they released those girls because they know the consequences from the government. That is, who are they playing game with? Do you understand? So if DSS can call bandit on phone, they have bandit phone number. So they cannot take the phone number to MTN, to whatever network they're using to track them down. Every information, the conversations is on MTN, who is the Minister of Communications. So this person cannot work under his ministry. Do you know the information that this man, every communications, everything that has to do with digital communication, everything that has to do with internet, everything as far as communication is concerned, NCC, ICC, all of them is under this man. who is his minister? I forgot his name. Minister of Communications is under him. So there's no way, there's nothing they want to tell me and you now that they can't track these people down. This is not new again. Bandits are displaying weapons online. Bandits are not doing TikTok live. You say you don't know them. You don't know where they are. Bandits that are coming for peace meeting. You say you don't know where they are. They come. The man who attended the meeting said when they came after the meeting, some of the official security and these people, they see them off to the bush. Bye-bye, they said. I wasn't there. The person who attended the meeting said that. Custom of recent, one of the northern state, customs recent said that they seized some of the confiscated goods from these people, importers. They seized their goods, their market, rice, bags of rice, 37 or 38 bags of rice. They seized them. So as they were going, they stopped by to say hello to the bandits in the bush. To say hello to the bandits in the bush. Hey, bro, how are you doing? Now they okay, ba? No problem. The bandits were happy with them. They were happy to see them. They are okay. They are feeding very well. So because they were going, because of the friendship, they are able to establish relationship, friendship. The bandits now demands that they give them 7 bags of rice, of which the custom gave bandits in the bush 7 bags of rice in this country. We don't know then. The military cannot work with these customs? No. No, now we are a joke in this country. Governor of Zamfara once said, couple of months ago, before this issue started, he said they know these bandits, they know their children, they know their parents, they know their family, they know where they live, but he cannot do it. He does not have the control of security to go after these people. A governor of his state said that's first-class information getting from governor. So the military did not work with him to use that information. Where are they? You know them? No. How can you tell me you a DSS? Do you know DSS military? They call bandit terrorists on the phone. Hey, release the people you kidnap. Then they released them. They went in the bush. They released them because they know the consequences of the government. They released them. There was no ransom pay according to them. No ransom pay. No gunfire exchange. No bullet. Nothing. I said before. They both groups. This that they did. Nobody sustained injury, wound. Nobody buy. No, it's a joke. The country is a joke. So it's even happening. Tinubu. I know this one will even making. He's worried. Yes, he's worried. He should be worried. He should be worried. Now he knows how difficult it is to be a president of Nigeria. You see, this problem is just, it's not as if this problem is not solvable, it's not doable. It's just because the people in charge of the government, they are powerful than Tinubu. Tinubu now, suddenly, Tinubu has become deaf and dumb. He doesn't talk again. He can't speak on issues again because they don't want to. Hey, mind yourself, mind your speech. Don't talk anyhow again. That is it now. Of this problem the country is going through, Tinubu has not addressed the nation concerning this. You see a lot of people, even the legislative, say they should shut down, that they can't do what. Who are they legislative? The country is being run with tears and blood. So who are they making laws for? So that's how bad it is. Now, of recent, they said, oh no, I was seeing the video yesterday. One of these road 2, what's it called, in Kaduna State. From there, because the weapon, the guns they loaded were over full. So some of them were not falling from the truck. So they got to realize that it was gun, weapons, bullets that were falling from the truck because it was over full. You see the video yesterday, it was there. And they are heading towards south. They are heading towards south. From the north, they are heading towards south. Can you imagine? So there's probably, and a lot of, see, 2 trucks now, we're worried. The kind of people they load into the country. See, you know the problem, another problem is, these people has been in the bush for a while. I don't know if you call them bandits, terrorists, whatever you call them. These people has been allowed to stay in the bush for a while. They go to different places, different villages. They now understand the terrains. Every community they understand. They know where the resources are. They know where things are, what they discover in the bush. So they decided to take over those places. They occupy them. Where the mineral resources are, so that they can occupy them. I'm very sure collaboration with internationals, they are involved in this matter. This is not just all these people in the bush. I said it before many times. If you want to solve this problem, you first of all need to diagnose the problem. Then you started providing solutions to it. You cannot go to the hospital. Doctors don't know the problem you are facing. You just say without examination, examine you just say want to do. You need to examine. You need to diagnose something before they started treating that symptom. Do you understand? So now you cannot handle these people. You cannot deal with these people in the bush without the sponsors. The sponsors are the problem, not these people carrying AK-47, carrying guns in the bush. And Tinubu is not ready to do that because these sponsors are in his cabinet and his government. They have been accused many times. And Tinubu has not said anything. He has not released any names for you to know that he's serious. If he has not done that, that means he's not serious. Do you understand? So you cannot continue allowing these people to do whatever they like and stay. Niger Delta now, they want to go back to work. Do you understand? Anyways, I hope we're able to get out of this quagmire that Tinubu has put us into, because it's getting too much, truth be told. Do you understand? Anyways, please like, share, follow for more, and leave your honest opinion.